Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, and this is the rabbit hole that I am not going to go down. I might get one more when it's released. It's actually due out very soon, and the Sword Ascension project, and that is of course the Dragon Sword. But today we're going to look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Sword Ascension Dino Megazord. But before we go any further, I just have a little favour to ask. I'm now aiming for the 1k goal. That is my goal for the year, and we're quite close. As of recording this video, we're only 11 subs off from 700, and you can help me out just by clicking the subscribe button, hitting the notification bell, leaving a like, comment, or even a dislike. It doesn't matter. That just shows me that you're interacting with the channel. And on top of that as well, I also have a gaming channel called Big Boss Cat. Yep, it's after my cat. And I've been doing a lot of live streams just now with Elden Ring and the co-op mode. I'm going to leave a link for that channel in pinned comments below. Why not check me out? I've been live streaming every day for about 6 hours, so I thought it was time to get back. And doing what I do all the time is make these videos. So, further ado, let's talk about the Power Rangers. So, my history with the Power Rangers is very, very small. Now, this came out at the perfect time when I was at the young age, at 8, went back in 93 when it came to the UK, and it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Little did I know about it being Super Sentai, and the history and how the two shows were basically merged together in the Western format. But I only knew it was Power Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So my time frame was basically Mighty Morphin to the 1997 movie. I think it's a 97 movie, that year it came out, or 96, or even 95. That movie, it hasn't aged well at all, let's be honest. But when you were young, the show was brilliant. You had these colourful characters, there's a lot of martial arts, and on top of that there's robots and monsters. Everything you wanted in this show, it was there. It was absolutely incredible. Over the years, I've kind of really drifted away from it. The only time it piqued my interest again was, of course, the 2017 movie, and I know it's not well liked, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I took it with a grain of salt and just enjoyed it for what it was. The having Megazord fight Goldar at the end was probably the highlight for me. I really enjoyed it that much. And there's nice nods throughout the movie to the TV series, which I really enjoyed. So this brings me to the Megazord. Why did I want the Megazord? Well, of course, being a young guy of 8, I had the toys. I've still got the original T-Rex and Pterodactyl up the stair. I don't know where the rest of them were because my brother decided, let's throw stuff out. Okay, so I'm blaming my brother on this one compared to how much I've kept from over the years. And I had the Megazord, he had the Dragon Zord. Everybody knows they combined. We had some figures, I had the Morphers, everything. This was a powerhouse in a sense of selling things, and it worked. That was the only swords I had. Of course, you had the Thunder Megazord and the White Tiger Sword. They're basically the ones I remembered, and the Ninja Sword from the movie. So researching the Zords over the last couple of weeks, because I wanted to make sure, have they still got the same feeling? Because this is kind of the iconic one of the Power Rangers Megazords, in my opinion. This is iconic. And when I was going through it and watching like the new versions of the Zords, like there's been a couple of videos online that's done compilations of the Zords morphing and joining together. It's not the same. I think Zeo was the only one I kind of appreciated, but then when I seen like, is it Jungle Fury or Wild Force? I don't know what it's called, and there's like 17 Zords, and I think the other one was called Overdrive or something like that. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I don't know the name, okay? Again, 17 Zords, and I'm just thinking of the dollar signs when they started doing this. And originally, all we got was 5 Zords. So I could see what they were going for in that sense. Like, you're marketing towards children. Children are going to want the toys. So that brought me back to, I want my Megazord back, and this version is incredible. I would love to have the original one, but for the price I seen it, it was like £400, and that's including the box, because I'd want it as mint as possible. This, however, is fantastic. It's basically the Megazord I really wanted, how it's posable and stuff like that. But it's not just that, it's the presentation that you get with this. Straight away, like, you see the Zord's face, and then you've got the outline. But when I take the sleeve away, you've got this beautiful artwork of the Megazord's face. And turning them around, you can see even more artwork there. Just the light taken in the close-up. And a shiny background with a big Z. Now, I've not been blown away from a box since, I would say, Star Saber. Star Saber blew me away with the box, and it's really hard to do that. Megazord done that, okay? So let's open this part up. I want to show you this bit first. Look at that for artwork. Megazord fighting Goldar. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And now with the light on it, you can see there's like a 3D effect. They've got the Z's going through it, and they look like they're illuminating light back. It's really hard to tell with this light on what it's doing. But if you've got the box, you know what I'm talking about. It's really impressive what they've done. It's a collector's box. It's not just a box that you throw away. And it gets better. This is how they present the swords. Look at that. That's amazing. Absolutely fantastic what they've done. They're showing you the inside of the Megazord, and if you remember the first episode, they combine the Dino power, it goes into the Dino tank, and then obviously Megazord. And I remember them like hitting the controllers, and like the helmet and the Zords light up, and it'll go to like the coins in the middle, you see, and that was the main power to boot up Megazord. It's incredible, but it's then when you start to see the figures, that's when it gets better. So when these came, I've took they came wrapped in paper, this very fine paper, and they just ripped, okay? So the paper's gone. So what I'm going to do is lay it on its back and take the figures out, and we will go over them as always, because you actually get quite a lot of things with it. This is, if you remember, you had your Deluxe Megazord back in the day. That's what it was called, the Deluxe Megazord. That has got nothing on the Ascension one. Absolutely nothing. So let's take them out. And there's little extras as well. Unfortunately, to properly complete this, I have to wait till I get the Dragon Sword. Purely because you're going to see why. There's little extras I'm going to take out in a minute. What you get, and I'm going to pick up, let's pick up Jason. Right. I can get the camera just to zoom in on it a little bit. You get these little figures, okay? You get every single one, Jason, Billy, Trini, Zach, and of course Billy. Tommy is not here because you can only get him with the Dragon Sword, which is fair enough. The Dragon Sword's just coming out, and yes, just like the original, it clips on to Megazord, and you can also combine the Mega Dragon Zord. It is brilliant. So all we need is the final one, Ultimate Megazord with Titanus, or whatever it was called. I think it was Titanus. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's been that long. So you get these little figures, okay? And I just dropped one. And with them, I thought, because I've seen like the pictures in the background, if I bring in the pterodactyl, okay, I seen it in the pictures that it looks like these figures fit in the cockpit. But they don't. As you can see, you've got the Power Rangers inside the vehicles, which is amazing looking. So here's the Zords all out. Now, let's talk about the quality of them all. Let's just cut to the chase, because we know this is Hasbro. Being a Transformers collector, you know deep down Hasbro's going to cut some corner somewhere, okay? There is parts of it feeling cheap. I'm not going to lie. There is parts you do feel, this does not feel sturdy. And the case in point is a lot of the hatches where the pilot seats are. That's me being completely honest. There's been times where I've genuinely thought I'm going to break the plastic. And that's worrying. Now, for the price Hasbro want for this, I think on the website this goes for between $230 to $255. My wife managed to get this for £150, brand new, sealed, never been opened. So I've got a bargain in that sense, but at the same time, we know Hasbro. And it's been, I think, been saying, documenting over the years of the Transformers that I've started to notice the dip in quality. Hasbro buying Power Rangers is a good thing because you know they're going to pump out the toys, which they have been doing. If you're a Power Rangers fan, they have been really stressing that. But unfortunately, the Zords is kind of one, in my opinion, the ones that I would like. They've not really brought them back. Sure, you can get like sort of Bandai releasing when they had the franchise still, some of the old ones, and it was like sort of I can't remember its name, if it was Legacy or something like that. I genuinely can't remember, but I remember seeing the original versions being relaunched and then black gold versions of them, the Morphers, etc. Bad side is it's the price. That's the only downside. But just so I can give you a head up, it's not all brilliant. This, in my opinion, isn't a toy compared to the way the Bandai one was. The Bandai one could take a beating and it could still go back together. These ones, I do feel, I feel like I'm going to break something here. So that's just a heads up. But apart from that, okay, look at it. That is probably the most iconic pose you can get with all the Zords. And that's one thing I loved about the show. You see the Zords like moving together to get to the Power Rangers. They reenacted this in the live action movie, then playing the iconic Power Rangers theme. As a kid then, and then till the age I was in 2017, which 33, I had to think there because I'm nearly 38. That is brilliant. Like, Transformers have done similar things where, as fans, we've seen the live action movies. Bumblebee was probably the only one it came close to like hitting the right tones of Generation 1, and it worked. There was various things you could say throughout the Bay movies. They took a little tiny thing and then it's like, oh, I remember that. Not much. But these are the things you do want to remember. If you're telling a new story, at least honour the past. And having something as just trivialised as the Zords coming in like this and making it new worked fantastic. And it's just iconic. Like I said, it's iconic to see this. Now, the combinations, okay? With the Zords, really only the saber-toothed tiger and the T-Rex has a lot of posability in the sense of the legs move better. That is the easiest way I can say that. It's very similar to the old Megazord where what you see is what they can do. But with the T-Rex and the saber-toothed tiger, you have a little bit of the legs. The mouth's open on the T-Rex, saber-toothed tiger and Triceratops. I would have wished to see more chrome. That's the only downside when you compare it back then to the Bandai one. Where the fangs were chrome, I was going to say gold, chrome. The Triceratops horns were chromed, and like the weapons in the back of the Triceratops was chromed. That was my only downside, but looks wise, it's nailed it. It's absolutely got it bang on, and I love it. So let's start getting him into Dino tank mode. I was going to say Dinobot mode there, I forget what video I'm making. So we all know how this combines. If you're a fan of the show, if you had the toy, you knew exactly. You didn't know. You don't need instructions. You don't need them. You knew how this combined. So let's start with Triceratops. Keep your mouth open if you want in tank mode, but for the sake of the video, and we're going to be putting them into Megazord, we're going to close the mouth. Come at the back, raise that tail up with the cannons. First port is ready. Saber-toothed tiger, let's get that ready. Come to the legs, bring them up and close them. Come to the mouth, now we can move the head up, and what I'm going to do is lift the fangs. You don't really need to do that. I don't think the tank mode has that done. But again, for the sake of the video and Megazord, we're going to have it ready. Get the legs, and you're just doing it like that. So you've got the clearance of the wheels, but there where you can see there's a lot of movability in the legs, which is something I really appreciate. Come to the tail. Second port is now ready. So let's come to the Mastodon now. Kind of the forgotten Zord in all this because of how the rest all look. But the Mastodon was kind of cool. Like when you think about it, not just was it the arms to the Megazord, it was the shield. ZAP was a cool Power Ranger back in the day. Then of course the guy that took over, for the life of me, I know his name's Adam in the show. I think that's right. I cannot remember his the actual actor's name. But now he does a lot of like voiceover work. He's been Nero in Devil May Cry for the last while, so that's how I know him now. I know him as Nero from Devil May Cry. So Mastodon is the exact same. So come to the head and just unclip that off. It's a better unclip system now. Now we can have this ready for going into the T-Rex. Now let's come to this part. These parts I'm still trying to figure out. Now, I like the fact that they're covering the arms, but again, with the design, I'll show you, okay? Just lift them up, and what you're wanting to do is just bring them up with it. Now, in theory, they're meant to come like this, okay? Which I never showed in camera, but I can do it to this one. That's meant to come up, okay, and stay on, so you can turn it. It doesn't, it likes to come off. So basically they're okay for being in Zord mode. And then the iconic pose with the legs of the Mastodon come out, and you've basically got the arms or the cannons ready for tank mode. Finish it off, we need those blasters on it, so let's put them on. Next, it's my favourite. Yeah, I was a T-Rex fan, and plus red is my favourite colour. I think everybody's kind of guessed that now, especially when I look around the room and I see the Transformers I've got, the colour patterns, especially my Optimus Brown Ball. There's a lot of red in this room, so naturally the T-Rex was my favourite. Now, there's a few little different things with the T-Rex. Like I said, you can open the mouth up a little bit more. You can see the cannons it has for one of its finishers, and you can see the Megazord head. I know, again, I forget what I'm reviewing here. I remember that used to just be a sticker. It went up the back, and there was a lot of stickers going around this, but there has got good posability. So I'm just going to show you, like, so the legs can really move now, the waist can go like that, and this is really just for Megazord. The arms, a little bit, but let's get him going into position. So body keeps like that, arms up. If you remember, you're going to come to these parts. Now, the way this works now, you come to the legs, you fold this part down, okay? That's going to bring out the mechanism. It's going to clip onto the leg. And what you want to do is just position it. Now, the easiest way I found this, okay, was hold the part is going to lock in. bring that up like so, hold it, then move the leg round. And that's that. Then you can lock that back up. So you're wanting it like this. Bit of a pain compared to the old way, but it works just the same. Same again. That bit up. And you can start the process of moving it down, but holding this section here. Just a bit stiff, this one. There we go. Straight up. Close that leg in. Get that part up. Bring those legs up. There we go. So, tank is ready to combine. Come back to the tail. And you can just lift that up. That can just balance like so. The head is now down. T-Rex is ready, so let's bring in Saber-Tooth Tiger. And all you're doing is lining those up like the original. They'll clip in. Same with the Triceratops. This one wants to go in. Okay, so that's part of the tank ready. Let's bring in the arms, well the cannons more like. Now, this one's a bit different. Remember the old one used to just clip in the back. So this one you've got to line up. And it clips in at the side this time. Let's bring in the Mastodon's head. Okay, that's the head on. It is footy, like I seen. There's a cut, I had to do it off screen. It is really tough to get on compared to the original. Now let's take the pterodactyl. What I like about this one is this little part moves. So its little tail. So this time you want to come back round to the legs. Okay. And if you remember, this used to just slide on and clip. But there's two little ports here now. And what you're doing is basically hooking it in. And hopefully this goes in first time, because silly me went and touched the helmet, the Mastodon, and there, it's came loose right away. That's how finicky this part is. I don't know if I need to sand maybe a fraction of it off just so it goes in. When you think about it, it's really just for this mode. That's all it's for. It's really just for this. But if I can get it just sitting just for the talking part and a few pictures, that's really all I need. So let's try it one more time. And there you have it, folks. After doing another off-screen, getting the Mastodon's head just to stick, there you go, you have got the Dino tank. This was amazing back in the day. Not only did your toy did this, okay, and not only does this one do this, but when you're watching the show, and I think it's kind of like the appropriate way I'm going to cut till Megazord, seeing how this was like the joining part, and I think I only remember them using it once to finish off a monster being in the tank mode, and then you heard that, just that robot's voice, and it would say Megazord sequence is activated, and you just loved it because then there's the other love of my life, basically. It's Transformers. The thing transformed into a massive robot. And I think it's only justice that I show it doing it.
Alright guys, power it up! Activating Megazord battle mode!
Megazord sequence has been initiated.
And here is Megazord transform into robot mode. I am not going to mess about with this. Right, there's a couple of reasons why. Now, my review table isn't the biggest. I genuinely don't have as much room as I used to have. I have a lot to cleaning up to do. And he can be a bit finicky. Try to get him to pose right. You want to make sure he's standing. And he's probably the height if you've got the new Star Saber, it's the exact same height when he's combined onto Victory Leo. That is the best way I can give you a height recommendation of this. But having him in this pose, okay, and I'm going to start moving my camera down. You can see how it looks now. It's a lot more thinner, and like you've got like the ankle tilts, everything, so you can now pose Megazord to a degree, but it looks amazing. They've got like carbon fibre plastic and see-through plastic going on in the M's and the pterodactyl underneath, so when it all combines. I'd love to see a Toy Hacks decal set for this, for the eyes, the mouth, certain sections, so it just pops it just a little bit more for me. It's something they might not do, but if they do, I will pick it up. Even if they don't, I still love this. I think this looks incredible. Now, we've got to talk about the most important thing, the weapons. Megazord's only good as he is looking like this, but you need those weapons for Megazord. Let's bring back in the shield. So, Mastodon shield, you can twist it around so it goes like that now. The original toy, you couldn't do that. You had to get one that basically it didn't move, and I had that one. That was like the teaser I got before Christmas. Then you've got the power sword. Look at the chrome goodness in that. Let's put that in the hand. And we'll move him back. Oh, there's actually one thing I want to show before we move him back. Well, I've got the camera up this high. So, come to the head, okay? Let's pull back the horns. You can come to the head, and if I take it to the side, you can gently remove the faceplate to show the Rangers using this in battle. It is amazing! Just like a small detail like that is just incredible. And it goes back on simple. You see the two ports there, so let's put the faceplate back on. You've got Megazord looking like this now, all battle ready. Moving the camera down, you can see he's got his shield, it's ready for battle, everything now. But that's not just all, and this is the part I love. It comes with extra hands. Now, originally when I seen these, I thought they'd done the Transformers way, where the hands opened up, you can manoeuvre things. No, they're in ball joints, so you just pop the ball joint off, put the new hand in, and then that's where you get your thumbnail picture from. I'm giving out secrets here. So let's get off the left hand, put on this new left hand, and we'll finish up the video. And there you have it, that is the new hand on. As you can see, it's like it's grabbing, his hands are out, the sword is ready for battle. It looks amazing, and this gives you a better idea of like the posability you can do with this Megazord. Like I said, some of it is quite stiff, so you want to be careful. Me putting in that new hand, it's the first I've really done it, so the ball joint was quite stiff putting it on. I really should have put on a little bit of WD-40 just for doing it to begin with, but it looks fine. So here we go. Is it worth it? As a collector's item, this is worth it. I think just the way it stands, the way it looks as a collector's item box-wise, it's incredible. It's one of the best Megazord variations I've seen. Hasbro have done an amazing job. Is it a good toy? No. This would break instantly in child's hands, which is a sad thing, because I think if I was 8-year-old and I seen this Megazord when I was Power Rangers silly, this is the one I wanted. I didn't want a deluxe one, I wanted this one. So that's the sad side to it. I wouldn't say it's a toy, but it is incredible. There is parts where the plastic feels cheap. That is Hasbro down to a T. I'm not going to kid you on that one. But overall look is incredible. It's just really down to yourself if you're paying that money. Especially Hasbro, you've got to be careful. That's a lot of money. And we've seen it with Star Saber, Thankfully my Star Saber was fine, but I know other people had a lot of problems with it. And I've never really seen a lot of reviews talking about the Megazord and the product quality. They really just talk about, look, it can do this. And I think that's something that should have been addressed, especially from Hasbro. So that gives you a heads up. That is the major point. There is parts on it. You can tell this is Hasbro quality. But if you're a Power Rangers fan and you just want it as a model, by all means, this guy is worth it. And if you've got the original, I'm still jealous because I want the original back as well. Same with the Dragon Zord. It's not a rabbit hole I'm going to go down, okay? Like, there's so many Zords. The Dragon Zord Lightning Edition is really the only last one I want, unless they bring out the Ultra Zord. Then I want all three because that was my era of Power Rangers. The rest isn't really. Even the new Megazord, when you've seen it in the movie, I didn't really like certain parts of the design. This is iconic. This is the Megazord I remember. So that being said, Transformer fans, Power Rangers fans, if you're watching as well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's informative as well, because this is something I didn't think I was going to get. This is something that I wanted to make the video on, and I wanted to go into the parts where I felt were necessary, especially explaining some parts where I feel this thing could go wrong. So up next, we're back to toy hacks, and we're back to upgrades. And we're going to look at Scourge from Legacy. Yep, he's coming back, but he's coming back heavy-handed. Till next time, fans, I'll see yous after. Thank you for everyone to tune in today's video. If you want to make Baby Grimlock happy, why not hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. All new videos are always coming right here in Optimus Wilbur Reviews. If you'd like to follow me in any of my social media links, all the descriptions are in the description box below. And of course, as always, I cannot stress this enough, I wish to thank Cybertronic Spree for allowing me to use their song Cybertronic Warrior as the theme of this channel. Guys, this is an incredible band, it does incredible covers, and recently just done an amazing album of the Transformers 1986 movie soundtrack. Please follow them and all their social media links. I have every description in the description box below. Please check them out, and as always, Transformer fans, till all are one.